On this episode of Sweet Point Setter Tales, the boys and I meet up with Matt Duff, the host of Major League Bowhunter TV, at Triple Creek Outfitters in St. John, Kansas, to find out what draws hunters from all over the country to this deer and bird paradise. I'm Wade Kisner, and I grew up hunting upland birds. Nothing's better than chasing a couple English setters called Sweet Lou and Adeline. Lou is a master hunter, and Adeline is quickly learning the trade. These are some of our tales. A couple years ago, we were guiding in the Aiming for a Cure Foundation Celebrity Hunt, which is a project that we've been involved in for about 10 years. One of the celebrities that particular year was Matt Duff. He's the host of Major League Bowhunter, and we had Matt in the field as one of our celebrities, and we hit it off with him and had a good time and found out that he was just getting into upland hunting, and he started telling us about having a connection down in Kansas.
And I think he just got a bird dog, if I'm not mistaken, and was kind of getting some tips from Dad here about what he should do with it.
Yeah, he was asking us about some upland things, and one thing led to another, and after that hunt and that initial meeting, Matt let us know that he had a connection for wild birds down in central Kansas and wanted to know if we were interested in coming down there, and we jumped on that opportunity. Time to get the Sweet Point Setter trailer hooked to the truck with all the dog equipment needed for a 5-day road trip. The trailer serves as our dog hotel, providing heated travel compartments and plenty of storage for gear. Early weather reports indicated a snowstorm possibly impacting the northern edge of Kansas, and we decided to stay off of Interstate 70 and push south on I-35 towards Wichita to avoid any bad traveling conditions. This added some time to the trip, but the highway stayed clear and dry all the way to St. John, Kansas. As we approached St. John, we witnessed a beautiful Kansas sunset. Once we got there, we met with Duff and our host, Richard Blakeslee, the owner of Triple Creek Outfitters.
None of that kind of stuff, which as a bird dog guy, having some sort of moisture for the dogs to work with is key.
Richard owns several properties in St. John that serve as lodging for deer and upland bird hunters. We were put up at the main house. A bonus for us was the garage, which Richard had transformed into a ready room for hunting gear. The room also had a large lounging area, including a big screen TV, and of course, the official Triple Creek Outfitters cornhole game.
We got one.
We were up at dawn on Monday morning to air dogs and discovered that a dusting of snow covered the ground in the trailer. This should help provide moisture to bolster setting conditions for the dogs. The setters seemed anxious to get out of their compartments and welcomed even being out on the chain gang. Richard advised that the morning forecast called for gusting 45 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, and it appeared that the morning hunt was going to be a no-go. We needed a way to kill some time as we waited for the winds to die down. Duff had told us a lot about another business venture of Richard's called Triple Creek Blinds.
This is the blind shop. I wanted to bring Mr. Wade in and show him how they make these blinds. This is Brandon, that's Richard's.
The business, managed by Richard's son Brandon, fabricates fiberglass deer blinds that are mounted on raised steel towers and provide many custom options for making hunters more successful.
Tomorrow morning when we get the chopper gun rolling, we'll chop all these 5 blinds. It'll take one whole day for them to dry, and then the next day we'll be standing these up, reinforcing the inside.
If I'm here to help them on a good week, we can squeak out 10 a week. If it's just the 3 employees that we have, we do 8 a week pretty easy. This polyiso board is fiberglass spaced. It's insulated.
That's the insulation.
And it's 100 psi strength, so it's super, super strong.
The blinds are tough and durable and provide a safe platform to extend field sessions by keeping the hunter warm and comfortable.
As you can tell, and we dealt with bird hunting this week, all the wind that you have out here, it may be tough for the dogs bird hunting and whatnot, but when it comes to deer hunting, these deer are so used to that and they move in those high winds. And it's tough as a hunter to stay out in that high wind. I mean, being out exposed in a tree stand, and these blinds are made, this is particular one, you have the rifle windows in the back, but the bow models that we hunt out of, you've got 180 degrees shooting, and you can put a heater in there if you need to, but it'll run you out. It's so insulated, and it's just the best blind out there.
After lunch, it didn't appear that the winds were going to die down, but we decided to go ahead and give it a try anyway. After getting our setters collared up, we put them on the ground with Richard's GSPs and Duff's GSP Birdie. We were also joined by Zach Krzeski, a Major League bow hunter, who graciously loaned us his skills behind the camera. Zach's GSP Hank was added to the dog crew. The wind was cold and gusted at times to 45 miles an hour. Richard directed us towards a tree line bordering the northern edge of the CRP.
The trees down along the edge of the cord, and then take the belt down.
He was hoping that running roosters would maybe hold along the tree line long enough for us to get them in gun range. Wasn't long before the dogs all got some bird scent.
Got a dog on point over here.
But the swirling wind played havoc with locating the roosters.
Whoop.
Several roosters broke out ahead of us without facing gunfire.
Seen 7 roosters and some hens so far. It's super windy to try to get behind this belt, see if we can get some birds. They're here, they just didn't sit very well.
Tyler was the only one with a chance for our first Kansas rooster,
Rooster!
but missed on an upward passing shot.
Open. I think we're just going to get our butts kicked. You know, we're going to burn up some ground that we can hunt tomorrow in better conditions.
After about an hour of being buffeted by the wind, we decided to pack it in and save our dog power for the next day.
Hey, we hit a nice little CRP patch. Due to it being so windy out, we weren't really looking to hunt. If we came into some birds, awesome, but it's mostly to get the dogs out and get them out of the trailer for a little while, get some exercise.
The wind gusts were, 45 mile an hour at times? I mean, it
roughly.
was pretty tough conditions. So
What can we expect tomorrow?
I think we're going to a really large half section size field of CRP, and there'll be some other guys joining us, I think, and we'll have several dogs, and we're just going to try to cover as much. That's a big, huge space. We'll try to cover as much as we can. This is the first time we've hunted in Kansas, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. We think there's going to be lots of birds from what
Hopefully pheasant and
the guide's
quail.
been telling us. We're just really happy to be down here, to be a part of it. Triple Creek Outfitters here in St. John, Kansas have really treated us great, and we're looking to see how their dogs do tomorrow also.
Awesome.
Will the Kansas winds cut us a break? Find out which one of the boys gets the first Kansas rooster hunting with Triple Creek Outfitters.
Sweet Point Setter Tails is brought to you with support from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Wade Kisner with Sweet Point Setter Tails. Do you have an interesting story idea for a future episode? We'd love to hear about it. Drop us a line at sweetpointsetters.com.